Manchester United crash out of the Champions League after a 1-0 loss to Atletico Madrid. And it is official, another trophyless season for Manchester United. Another season where this team, made out of some of the best players in the entire world, some of the most expensive players in the entire world, will not lift up a single piece of silverware. And as a Manchester United fan, I'm sure all Manchester United fans are asking this, how long will this go on for? How long will these same problems that have been happening for years go on for? Look, you don't have to be a Manchester United fan. I definitely know that to understand that something is so fundamentally wrong with this club. And in fact, I think one of the scariest stats to look at is this will be the first season in 16 seasons where Cristiano Ronaldo will not lift up a single trophy. Once again, I think that is shocking. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo, beginning of the season, he came to this club to help us win a trophy. And I mean, with so many months left, I mean, we were knocked out of the FA Cup by Middlesbrough, of all teams. No disrespect to them, but that should have been an easy win. Obviously, knocked out of the Champions League in a game where I wouldn't even say Atletico Madrid played to the best of their ability. And I think that's the point where Manchester United will be most disappointed in themselves. When it comes to the Premier League, I mean, what is our goal at this point of the season? We're definitely not going to win the season. We are miles off of that. Are we really here in a position after all these years, after all this money spent? Are we still in that position where we say, well, let's hope we can scrape a top 4 spot? And at this point, I'm not sure how possible that is. Arsenal are ahead of us in the Premier League and they've got about 3 games in hand ahead of us. Somehow Arsenal, after their start to the season, after the way they've crumbled over the last few years, they're even ahead of us. I mean, their rebuild is going better than Manchester United's rebuild. And once again, just at this point of the season, after everything that's been put into the club over the last few years, to still have the exact same problems, something is so fundamentally wrong. And I think that was very well proven in that Champions League game. Last few minutes of the game, you need inspiration. You need someone to push this team for a win, to make history for Manchester United. And you're going to substitute off your captain, Harry Maguire. Yes, I know, Harry Maguire has been dreadful for a very, very long time. Definitely proving that he's not anywhere worthy of being the captain of one of the most historic clubs in football history. But to sub him off, to take off your captain, I think that really shows how lost this Manchester United squad is. Look, I was shocked to hear, I think it was Gary Pallister spoke about the fact that Harry Maguire was a born leader, or he's one of the only natural leaders in this Manchester United squad. That is such utter bullshit. Looking at this Manchester United squad, yes, I know we don't have the best leaders in the entire world, but we've got some fantastic names and fantastic players that fight for the club. But as of late, I don't know if I see anyone really fighting for this club. But it's definitely not a lack of quality. People ask, where does this United team need to improve? Look, when it comes to coaches, when it comes to managers, something is fundamentally wrong. When it comes to leaders, we do need a proper captain. We do need a captain who won't get subbed off in the dying minutes of a gigantic European game. We need a sporting director of football. We definitely just need a huge overhaul of this club. And I don't want anyone to say, yes, we just need to bring in 3, 4, 5 players in the transfer window. Previous transfer window, we brought in Cristiano Ronaldo. We brought in Varane. How much more could you ask for? We brought in Jadon Sancho. All of these players in the beginning of the season. It's not just about the players. Yes, they haven't been playing to the best of their ability, but we need a manager. We need coaches that know how to lead this team. We need coaches that know how to play with these types of players, because if you look at the quality in this team, look, David De Gea in the goalkeeper position, maybe one of the only players I can't critique, because he's just been fantastic this season. He's definitely come to the best of his ability. Yeah, he slips up from time to time, but definitely far from the worst problem in this club. Looking at our defense, I mean, in our right back position, after paying £50 million for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's been dreadful this season. He can't even get in over Diogo Dalot anymore. Diogo Dalot, I think, really good on the attacking front, but defensively just can't get the job done. Looking at the left back side, yes, Luke Shaw had a brilliant season last season, but I said this last season, when he is injured, when he can't get fit, he's an absolutely diabolical, dreadful player, and we've seen that this season. Telles can be a really, really good player, but once again, hasn't been a major impact as of late. Looking at the rest of our defense, once again, Harry Maguire. Let's just put on the screenshot right here of that offside goal that Atletico Madrid ended up scoring. How on earth do you get yourself in that position in a defensive defensive situation as a centre-back. I don't understand that. Harry Maguire, look, I'm not saying you're the worst centre-back of all time, but once again, I just think there are so many better options, even within this Manchester United squad at the moment. Look, Varane didn't have an awful game. I think if you look at Manchester United centre-backs at the moment, I would play, obviously, Varane over Maguire. I would play Lindelof over Maguire. Before Maguire came to Manchester United, there were talks about Lindelof becoming the captain of this club, and to be honest, I think he would make a better leader than Harry Maguire. I think Phil Jones has proven in his very little game time over the last 2 years, he's started one game. I would start him over Maguire. When Eric Bailly is fit, I'd play him over them. Looking at previous centre-backs we've had, I would play Chris Smalling, I would play Daley Blind, I would play Rojo over Harry Maguire. I don't know how we got ourselves into this situation, but defensively, we are a mess. And until we figure out the structure, until we sort out our defense, the rest of this club is going nowhere. But it's not like the rest of our club needs major improvement. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo, who, yes, is almost 40 years old, but once again, still pushing out the numbers. But we do need to sort out this team, because when he leaves, we are going to be in serious trouble. As if we're not in that already. I mean, we've got Ronaldo up front. We've got Edinson Cavani, once again, one of the top European goal scorers of all time. I'm pretty sure he wants to leave the club. Obviously, Marcus Rashford, once again, just hasn't been playing like he used to. I mean, he's, once again, another player who's been a shell of his former self. Jadon Sancho, once again, he's been improving as the season's gone on, but once again, I do want to see him hit a new height. Obviously, the likes of Ilanga, a young player, once again, exciting for the future. But once again, I think that goes down to a managerial thing. When I talk about these are fantastic players and they haven't reached their heights, that's a managerial thing, to not know how to get the best out of your players. Looking at the midfield, tiny bit of a strange decision to start Bruno Fernandes after just coming back into the squad. But once again, Bruno Fernandes, another player, been a shell of his former self. He needs a manager who's going to push him to be his best. Obviously, the likes of Paul Pogba, he's had moments this season, but once again, I think we all know the Pogba situation. I still think he has to go. I think while he's still at least worth something, we have to sell him. Obviously, I think Scott McTominay, once again, no, he's not the best defensive midfielder in the world, but he is the kind of player who fights for the team. You've got Fred, he's improved over the last few months, and I would say he's been our best midfielder so far this season. But looking at this team as a whole, all those names I've just mentioned to you, there is no way that this team that I've just mentioned whimpered out of the Champions League, was absolutely embarrassed by Atletico Madrid. Look, Atletico Madrid were far from their best, but my problem as a United fan is the fact that I almost expected us to be knocked out of the Champions League. That's the problem. I thought even though Atletico Madrid aren't having a fantastic season after winning the title last season, I still thought, you know what, I don't like our chances. And I think a real point to show how far we've fallen over the last few years is I've been thinking to myself, well, if we make it past this stage, I don't think we're going to make it much further. And that really shows how far we've fallen. I don't think we stand chances versus the big dogs in the competition, versus a Manchester City, a Liverpool, a Bayern Munich, a whoever we end up playing, a Real Madrid, whoever we ended up playing or would have ended up playing. I think we would have gone out at that stage anyway. And to look at Manchester United, to spend more money than pretty much everyone else in the Premier League, for example, to still look at clubs ahead of us and say, yeah, I don't think we can beat them. There is something fundamentally wrong. And I think we're in such a tricky situation at the moment because we don't even know who our next coach, our next manager is going to be for next season. I am praying that it's not Mauricio Pochettino. Look, I think he's been a great manager at certain points in his career, but we need a proven winning manager, a manager who's actually won things, big things. We can't have someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is just a legend at the club. But once again, managerial-wise, hasn't proven anything. I think David Moyes is the kind of manager after spell at West Ham United, he's proven that he can do the job, but I don't see why he would come to United. I mean, I think West Ham United at some extent is better off than United. I think they've got a more promising future than United for the next 2-3 years. We need a manager like a Zinedine Zidane. We need that kind of manager who knows how to win trophies, who knows how to use big players to win those trophies, because as I said, something is just so fundamentally wrong. The fact that this is the first season in 16 seasons where Cristiano Ronaldo will not win a trophy. One of the best strikers in the world, in world football, one of the best footballers of all time. His first season in 16 seasons that he won't win a trophy. And that goes down to Manchester United. That goes down on the Manchester United mark. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to leave at the end of the season. As I said, I think just between the coaching, between the management, something is so wrong. Looking at Ralf Rangnick, once again, no, I don't think he's an absolutely dreadful coach. I think he's had moments in his career where he's really helped the development of teams. We've seen that at RB Leipzig. He's probably a huge reason to why RB Leipzig, who they are today. But looking at Manchester United, once again, you need that different type of manager. You need that manager who won't take that bullshit. You need your Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid who knows how to get the best out of his players, who knows how to fully utilize his players, because at the moment, this Manchester United team is very, very far off from winning any sort of silverware anytime soon. As I said, in the Premier League, currently, we're behind Arsenal. I think Arsenal have been playing much better football than us. Arsenal are going to be very happy with the season they've had, but I would say United have twice the amount of good enough squad than Arsenal. I think player for player, Manchester United have by far a better team than Arsenal. But once again, Manchester United, you can have the best players in the world, but if you don't have the manager who knows how to use the tools, you're just not going to get the job done. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty much it for today's video. Once again, I'm just in such a dark place looking at this United squad. Like, for the rest of the season, genuinely, what are our hopes? What are we hoping to achieve for Manchester United? Genuinely, I've got no idea. It's sad, but I'm hoping for a top 4 spot, and I don't know how likely that is, to be honest with you. And it's so sad to sit at this point when you think, well, maybe I can stop Manchester City from winning it. Maybe I can stop Liverpool from winning it. To spend the same kind of money, if not more money, than all these other teams, and your goal is to still slow them down a tiny bit for another team to beat them, and it's not to directly compete with them. Once again, it just shows how sad of a situation it is. And it's very sad at the moment. I'm thinking, well, maybe our best chance of top 4 is if Chelsea fall off after their sanctioning and their financial troubles. That's how sad it is. We're depending on other teams to go through catastrophic events in order for us to get a top 4 spot. Once again, it's absolutely pathetic. It's not down to us getting more players, spending more money on players. Something from the foundation fundamentally has to change about this club, because once again, as I said, it could be another 5, 10, 15 years until we see this team win trophies if they don't change anything soon. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Once again, this team is absolutely such a mess at this point in time, and I'm not sure what has to change about it. Guys, if you've got any suggestions on what you think is wrong with Manchester United, is it the leadership? Is it Harry Maguire? Is it the coaching? Is it everything as a whole? Put that down in the comment section down below. Obviously, if you guys want to see more football content in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Once again, with this club, we're supporting, or I'm at least supporting, if you're not a Manchester United fan, been in a very dark place at the moment, but of course it would make my day better if you hit that subscribe button. Very close to 3,000 subscribers. I will be live streaming my Premier League prediction tomorrow, so make sure to catch me live. But Manchester United, the Red Devils, we really are in hell at the moment. But guys, this has been fun. FY double N. Until next time, cheers.